Cryptocurrency is arguably the hottest investment class out there, but for many investors, a big question mark remains. Trading platform Luno has always set out to change all that, but have its efforts proven successful, and is it prepared to still face the numerous challenges ahead? We talked to General Manager for Southeast Asia, David Low, about continuing education, endearing crypto to the masses, and the thorny issues of regulation and security. Crypto remains one of the hottest, arguably the hottest investment class, right? And it's growing across demographics, which I think is the most important thing. So what does Luno make of being one of the earliest in this space, so to speak? Is it been a blessing or a curse because you've had to go through a lot? Explain your experience of it.
To be honest, we haven't really put too much thought into whether it has been a blessing or a curse. To us, it's always out of a validation and belief that cryptocurrency will hit mainstream at some point. We've always believed in that. So for us to be in this space as early as 2016 in Malaysia has really validated that belief that what we are doing is the right thing to do. And it also has continued to fuel our motivation to keep going so that we can bring crypto to the masses.
Has a pickup interest been something you've seen across not just this market, but like all of Southeast Asia as well? Or do you think that some markets, depending, are more accepting than others? Has interest been even or uneven?
Definitely uneven, because at the end of the day, crypto adoption all depends on the level of education that the consumer has in each market, right? While we have seen tremendous growth in different markets where we are, so for example, we're in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Australia, our growth surprisingly has been the biggest in Malaysia. Right?
Okay.
Simply by the fact that from our observation, Malaysians are actually very receptive to new technologies. I think the fact that we have adopted e-hailing back in the days, just like maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, is a testament of that. And now Malaysians going into cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and really trying to understand this space is a pleasant surprise. But it's not too much of a surprise either, and we're very encouraged with this interest in Malaysia.
What other countries have seen sort of like maybe a pickup in interest recently? Because I would expect Singapore for sure, a lot more players there as well.
Yep. Surprisingly, Singaporean consumers are a little bit more cautious. If I were to take another country to compare in terms of level of interest, actually Indonesia.
Okay.
Indonesians are very interested in cryptocurrency. In fact, I dare say that the volume, in terms of growth, is far greater in Indonesia recently compared to how we grow, right? So Indonesians are a curious bunch, just like Malaysians. They are very hungry when it comes to learning about new technologies and potentially investments that can value add into their lives. So definitely Indonesia is a market that we are observing this level of increased demand.
You said one word which I think is the biggest sort of stepping stone, which is education. It is the biggest hurdle when it comes to investing in cryptocurrency. How does Luno play a part in sort of helping all of this with all your resources? Because let's be honest, there's a lot of information out there.
You're right. In fact, there are a lot of misinformation as well.
Of course.
On the online sphere and the offline sphere. What we're trying to do is in the channels that we control, so for example, emails, social media accounts, we try to distribute the right information to the public. We actually send regular market updates as well as cryptocurrency one-on-one information to our own customers. Apart from that, to try and really spread the right messaging around cryptocurrency as well, we also do paid advertisements online, right? We work with reputable media publishers very closely to curate the right information to present to the public. Hopefully, post-pandemic, we can also resume back, our offline engagements, whole public seminars, and ideally, if possible, we would like to do a roadshow right across all Malaysia to try and provide the right information to the masses, because not all Malaysians are online, right?
So how does the team, your growing team, go about bettering the product in general? What improvements do you expect that we can see across like all the markets that you serve?
Our vision is to bring crypto to the masses. We want to position our brand as the easiest platform and product for users to access cryptocurrency, right? And for us to do that, one of the things that we are currently planning and studying is to try and localize our product a lot more. That means
Based on the markets that you're in, is it?
yes, correct.
Which one?
And especially for Malaysia, we want to add more languages, right? So right now, Luno platform only provides services in English. Obviously we get emails from customers asking some questions in Bahasa, which is fine, we deal with that, but we want to also take it to the next level and try and add Bahasa Malaysia into our app, and also provide a lot more of our educational content in Bahasa as well. So I think that's our first big game plan that we want to execute in the foreseeable future. And then obviously the second thing is we also want to find pockets of opportunities where we can potentially add more financial product into the app through partnerships. So that's something that we're still studying. We're speaking to different partners in Malaysia. But if it's something that's interesting, that's regulated, that we can introduce, we will do that as well.
You talked about partnerships and e-wallets, right? But I saw that you can even purchase Bitcoin vouchers on Shopee, which is a platform that a lot more people use now, especially since the pandemic. Are these the kinds of marketing strategies that you're going to be deploying in the future? Partnerships with these kinds of marketplaces?
Definitely. In fact, we actually replicate this strategy outside Malaysia as well. So for example, in Indonesia, we work with largest e-commerce platform like Tokopedia, Bukalapak, for example, if you're aware of the market in Indonesia, as well as Gojek. We actually work with them on a marketing level to provide cryptocurrency vouchers to their consumers. And it's great for them as well because they get to use this to reward their users to continue using their platform at the same time.
What other partners are you talking to for this kind of similar strategy, or you're happy with what you have now?
No, we're definitely more than happy to work with any partners. We always start off with tech companies because these guys are a lot more ahead, right?
Inherent understanding.
Correct,
almost.
exactly, right? And they're very, very used to having this kind of partnership, right? Such partnership is actually very common among tech companies. But beyond that, we also want to expand to this partnership to non-tech players, within any industries. So that's something that we're still exploring because there's a lack of education again. When you go to non-tech sectors, not many people understand cryptocurrency. So what we do is, before we reach out for partnerships, we try and first provide education, usually in the form of internal webinars to their employees, right? We always like to start from there. And once we get their knowledge up to a certain level, when they understand the benefits of cryptocurrency and debunk certain myths about cryptocurrency, that's when we can start exploring larger opportunities and synergies between two companies.
It's such a new thing that you don't have any regulation in yet. What kind of regulation are we hoping for, as somebody like Luno, looking for going forward? Because you don't want it to be so overregulated that it strangles it, but you cannot have it completely Wild West because that means a lot of people probably would feel a bit more wary of coming in. So, and plus people always worry that there's no consumer protection. Banks have consumer protection, but crypto does not. So what kind of regulation do you see in the future for crypto, or hope at least?
Regulation right now in Malaysia, I would say is a good start. We have quite sufficient regulations to protect investors' interests. So the crypto industry is actually jointly monitored by both regulators, Bank Negara and the SC. So at the basic level, we have that. Regulators do perform their tasks into ensuring that a business like Luno, is legitimate. They check our systems, they check our, infrastructure to make sure that we have the right operational framework in place to protect investors' interests. And most importantly, they make sure that guys like us cannot manipulate the market, cannot put our hands into customers' funds, whether in ringgit or crypto. All these things are put in place, and we have regular reporting obligations to ensure that we continue maintaining observation of these regulations.
Yes, very important.
But moving forward, obviously, that's very basic. That's a basic level. I think what we hope to try and achieve with regulators is how can we introduce more different types of cryptocurrencies in Malaysia.
In the next 6 months, are we going to expect any new products?
Hopefully, we're still in study. We will want to add new cryptocurrencies, right? That's no secret. Our customers ask for that as well, but we're still studying it. We haven't had any conversation with the regulators yet because we want to make sure that whatever we decide to do and to introduce is actually going to be here for the long run, right? So it's more art than data, than science sometimes. So we'll decide when that's the right time, and we'll definitely bring it up to regulators. Anywhere around the world, right, is accepting crypto. That's just a fact. right? It doesn't matter if they're a first world country like Singapore or a developing market in the other parts of the region.
Yes, yes.
It's really just a case of can we move into that space and value add, right? That's where we're coming from. And we are happy where we are right now, but hopefully in the next 1 year we can launch 1 or 2 more new markets in Southeast Asia as well.